everybody, doing a new video. You might be able to see from the drawing right here a little bit of what we got going on, but this is an old Spectrum Bluefin, a little 15-foot aluminum modified V. I picked this up a couple years ago. It's been sitting. I did some work to it, ripped some stuff out a while back, and then things changed. I had to hit the road and this thing sat outside uncovered for almost 3 years, and as you can see, it's filthy. Got a box full of goodies here for it. It's gonna be pretty neat when we get it done. I just got done taking a few measurements of the planned floor here. As you can see, I cut a couple pieces already before I started filming. I just thought about filming here. Got a can of peanut oil there, frying some fish up. But I cut this piece for the front here. I cut this. Now I'm working on laying out the other big piece of the floor, which is kind of a crazy design. As you can see, I kind of got some measurements here of what it needs to look like, and I'm working on laying that out on my sheet of plywood here. I just bought regular 3/4 inch standard exterior grade plywood. Gonna go ahead and cover it with some epoxy and a little bit of fiberglass. I've got a little bit of woven rovin right here, and this is some CSM. Got a little bit of epoxy here. I think should be enough to do the job. And then I've also got some gray kiwi grip that I'm gonna use on top of everything for a little textured surface. I just I'm of the opinion that carpet has no place on a boat. And I want this thing to be able to be cleaned easily, so the floor is all going to be removable. I got a couple plans on how I'm going to achieve that to where I can still keep it tied down but also have it be removable. Working on that still in my head, because I think I can make it work out. I'm just gonna have to probably see if I can get some aluminum thread and just weld it onto it, and then there'll be a couple little studs coming out. Anyway, that's for a later video, just running through some ideas. But what we got going on right now, this piece right here where the deck is probably going to be cut into 3 separate pieces, because under here we've got 3 little compartments. And basically what I was planning was right and left side was going to be a battery, one for the trolling motor and one for electronics. The center would just be like an anchor locker, so we'll have that. Then we'd move on aft a little bit to this. It's just a little storage box. It was a seat, and then it used to have a bait wheel. You can kind of still see where the welds were here, and over here on this stringer. You can see where the welds were. I took that out because it's just a lot of useless space. I can just put a small cooler in there and be much better off. I don't need a live well. But this is going to be a seat. I've got a couple old seat bases off from an old C-Pro that I had that I'm going to use. The seats are actually down there. I'm going to just put a piece of plywood on here. We still got the piano hinge right here, so we're going to use that. And then same thing back here. This will be the seat area for the driver, and we'll put one of those seat bases in a seat. Obviously they're going to be cut down to where you're not sitting 3 feet above the gunnel of the boat. But all in all, this boat's in pretty good shape. Not very many dents and dings for its age. It's a 1989. Over here, the Suzuki DT25C. It's already been gone through. by me a couple of years ago, rebuilt the carburetors and the oil pump and the fuel pump, replaced the impeller down in the bottom, and it really runs excellent. This cowling is rough, but underneath this cowling it's a really good looking motor. So anyway, just wanted to introduce you to the boat and the project, and hopefully we'll bring you some more videos and you guys can get a good idea of what we got going on and see this thing through till it hits the water. All right, see you soon. Here's the final piece cut and ready for a dry fit into the boat. I'm hopeful, but doubtful at the same time. I am no carpenter, but even down here in that right hand corner you can see this cut right here looks a little messed up. That looks okay-ish up top there. We'll see what happens when try and get it in here. Wish I had a tripod. I'd set you up and let you watch me try and fit it in here by myself, but I don't, and maybe I'll get one soon. But for right now, I gotta do work and check back in with you. All right, here we are, back with the old Spectrum. I got that second piece of last piece of the floor trimmed up, put in, and it's all fitting in there pretty good. So I think now I will be ready for pressure washing this thing and cleaning it out, doing a little bit of support work for underneath this plywood so it kind of sits a little more level, and then start glassing it. So of course I got to cut that stuff in the back here, but that's nothing really. I got some ideas back here too. We'll discuss at a later date though. Has to do with that old nasty foam in there. But anyway, thanks for hanging out with me today, and keep an eye out. Like and subscribe to the video if you want to see more, and I appreciate it.